Well, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Just wanted to come to you and encourage you today as you gather around those tables with friends and family and loved ones. And Thanksgiving is a wonderful time. I know a tradition that we have is we sit around the table and we tell one thing we're thankful for over the past year. And it's really a time where we can take stock and we can think about what has happened in our lives over this past year. I know for some people, this past year has been a joyous occasion, a wonderful year. Personally, it's been one of the toughest years in my life and my family's life. We've had to say goodbye to my mom back in the springtime, and then just life happened. Sometimes with the things that happen with our kids over this past year, the difficulties that happen with hitting a deer with our vehicle. I mean, it just is one of those years that we joke around that maybe we just want to forget. But as I think about this past year, and I think about Thanksgiving, I was reminded of a verse in Scripture that kind of put things in perspective, regardless of if this was a good year for you or if this was a difficult year for you. And that is a verse that is found in the book of James, James chapter 1. The book of James is written by Jesus' brother or half-brother of James, and he is encouraging Jewish believers to continue to follow Christ, to continue to live a life that is pleasing and honoring to Christ. And one of the things he says is in James chapter 1, starting in verse 16, it says, "Don't be deceived, my brothers and sisters. See, every good and perfect gift is from above." And that makes sense. Because every good and perfect gift comes from God, because God is the owner of this world. God is the creator of this world. God, everything in this world, God is in control of. And so James reminds them that every good and perfect gift that we get comes ultimately from God. So you think about that. The house you live in is a gift from God. The cars you drive is a gift from God. The job that you go to work at is a gift from God. The money that you earn, the be able to have the things that you have, those are all gifts from God. The family that you have is a gift from God. Every good and perfect gift comes from God. But that's usually where we stop, especially at Thanksgiving, to remind ourselves, we have been so blessed, that everything that we have is from God. But it's the second part of this verse that struck me, especially throughout this year. James goes on and says, "Every good and perfect gift is from God, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows." That's one of the things that I learned in a new way this past year. No matter what happens in life, God is that heavenly lights. And He doesn't change. He's not like those shifting shadows. And I was reminded of that as you take walks and the sun is out. Your shadows, depending on the way, the position of the sun, the shadows change. From the part of our yard in the morning time is shaded. By mid-afternoon, it is completely in the sun. And James uses that as an illustration and says that is not who God is. God is not like those shifting shadows that is here one day, one moment, gone the next. God doesn't change. He is a faithful God that is always there, always stays the same. As the writer of Hebrews says, He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. God never changes. And that's one of the things that I was reminded again over recently, is that regardless of what happened this past year, one of the things that I am so grateful for, one of the things that I personally rejoice in, is the fact that I have my faith and my trust in a God that never changes. He is a faithful God that I can trust in. That when I go through those difficult times of those deep, dark valleys of life, as the psalmist says, I do not have to be afraid. Why? Because my shepherd, my God, is there with me, walking with me. He never changes. When I have those high times of life, those exciting times when it seems like everything is going perfectly, I can rejoice because God is there. Because He never changes. God is a faithful God. That no matter what we experience in life, we can trust in because He is a God that never changes. There's a song that I grew up singing, and probably you have grown up singing as well, is a song called Great is Thy Faithfulness. And again, as I think about over this past year, again, the hard times that I have personally gone through, my family has personally gone through, this is really the anthem for me personally, is that I have seen the faithfulness of God. I have seen God, as James describes Him, as a God that never changes, that I can trust in. As that chorus goes, great is Thy faithfulness. Great is Thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, Thy hand hath provided. Great is Thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me.
Great is Thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with Thee. Thou changest not, Thy compassions, they fail not. As Thou hast been, not forever wilt be. Great is Thy faithfulness, great is Thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I hath needed, Thy hands hath provided. Great is Thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Summer and winter and springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above, join with all nature in manifold witness to Thy great faithfulness, mercy, and love. Great is Thy faithfulness, great is Thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, Thy hand hath provided. Great is Thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. for sin, and a peace that endureth. Thine own dear presence to cheer and to guide, strength for today, and bright hope for tomorrow. Blessings all mine, with 10,000 beside. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see, and all I have needed, thy hands have provided. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness, great